All new at 6, the Rocky River Police Department does not record its 911 calls. It is the only department out of more than 60 in our database that doesn't. And they say they've never had any complaints until now. While Rocky River officials seem reluctant to talk about this on camera, News Channel 5's Dan Haggerty found it's getting a lot of talk time on local radio.
Will sent me an instant message at roverradio.com.
You may never expect what happens on a morning radio show to raise questions about public safety and 911 calls. But recently, Rover's Morning Glory, a syndicated show on WMMS Radio, did just that. It started with an annual calendar in which 12 women posed in bikinis or less. And this year's photo shoot happened on Rocky River beaches.
The police showed up at the beach. They said, hey, you can't have topless women running around. We said, well, we're not exactly doing that. It's not really causing a disturbance.
But police say otherwise, and that residents called 911 to complain.
We wanted to hear those calls and see, was this overblown? What was really going on? So we called and they said, well, we don't record 911 calls. And I thought, well, that's a little bit strange.
Rocky River police officer calls.
Every police-related call to 911 in Rocky River comes through here. The dispatchers are seasoned cops, some with 30 years experience. But none of their conversations has ever been recorded. And some say that's a problem.
This is a department that's an anomaly. It is a department lost in the 50s, and it's a 20th century approach to policing. And we're in the 21st century. It's time to make a change.
Attorney Avery Friedman is a weekend legal analyst for CNN and practices law in downtown Cleveland. He says 911 recordings are used frequently as evidence in court.
We're fallible. We make mistakes. So if a prosecution is going forward 6 months, a year later, all an officer can do is look to his or her notes and take their chances and obviously be subject to cross-examination.
Rocky River Police Chief Donald Wagner told me his city has never recorded 911 calls, and they've never had a problem or had anyone question the decision. He says he trusts his experienced officers and that adding a recording system would be costly in tight economic times. But what about other departments?
Do you guys record your 911 calls?
Well, I went through our News Channel 5 list of 64 local PDs, and every one recorded 911 calls. Cleveland police use the tapes for evidence, training, and quality control. I also talked to Rocky River's mayor, safety director, and law director. All of them agreed with Chief Wagner. None of them would say it on camera. They also told me that the city will review its policy on recording police-related 911 calls during its next budget meeting. On your side, I'm Dan Haggerty, News Channel 5.